Kamel Hawwash, who is a former chair of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign in the UK, and he joins us from Birmingham in the UK now. So this could be a landmark ruling that the High Court has come up with today. The court ruled that the bar was too high for terrorism before this ban was introduced, referring to the actions of Palestine Action before the ban was introduced. So I just wonder what your reaction is to today's developments.
First of all, today is Friday the 13th, and it normally brings bad luck. But we have just witnessed a really historic decision by the High Court here in the UK, because the Palestine Action really should never have been considered under the Terrorism Act, because it was always considered that its actions may be criminal, and that's the way it should have been. So the court has ruled today that what the then Home Secretary Yvette Cooper decided to do when it ruled that when it prescribed Palestine Action was unlawful and also disproportionate. And that's a really important decision. So the Home Secretary then acted unlawfully. And I think she, who is now the Foreign Secretary for the UK, should be considering her position and should resign, because she carried out an unlawful act as a Secretary of State. What this decision does is it sends a message that the UK really protects freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and that the side which should be labeled a terrorist organization is the side that has killed more than 70,000 people. As your reporter just said, that a third of those who've been killed, even since the ceasefire in Gaza, have been children. That is the terrorist action that should be tried and Israel held accountable, not the peaceful protesters in London.
Now, just to say that the Interior Minister in the UK is standing by her decision and is going to appeal it. The UK is known for its freedoms, though. There were, of course, hundreds of protests in pro-Palestine protests across London and the UK that were allowed to go ahead. So do you think this is particularly pivotal, the fact that this decision has been made in the UK?
I think so. And I mean, I think that the words unlawful act, it's going to be really difficult, in my view, for an appeal to overturn that. If something was done unlawfully, it was unlawful, and I can't see the government winning on that. Shabana Mahmoud, who's the current Home Secretary, didn't bring this particular prescription into action, but she has been really hostile towards pro-Palestinian supporters, including looking at the marches that happen in London and trying to stop them. It is clear that the government in the UK is acting under pressure from Israel to try and stop solidarity with the Palestinians, and labeling Palestine Action at the time as a terrorist organization was part of that. So I think Shabana Mahmoud should be ashamed of what she is doing. She should listen, understand, protect freedom of speech, not express disappointment, because that's what she has done. Because what these people have been doing is standing with the people of Gaza. We've just seen in your report the scenes in Gaza, and previous to that, the destruction in Gaza. That is what the UK should be looking at and saying, how can we have Israel as an ally when it has committed a genocide and continues to do so?
And the UK government appeal will be heard later this month. Kamel Hawwash, former chair of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign in the UK, we thank you for your time.
Thank you.